Hello and welcome to the Penno Channel for this match reaction to Aston Villa 1, Bournemouth 1 in the Premier League. I'm joined with my bro Ads to go through everything that went on yesterday in the game. A heartbreaking point for Villa fans as Bournemouth scored in the last minute. But yeah, we'll get into everything regarding the game. Bro, how's your day been? I hope you've had a nice relaxing Sunday after the moment that happened yesterday. And yeah, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. It's just it's always hard just to accept and get over something like that, isn't it? When it's the last kick of the game, you're already planning your weekend in your head that Villa have got 3 points, clean sheet, and then that happens. So it is what it is. I'll get over it eventually, hopefully, with a win against Palace this week. But yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I took some solace in the fact that there was a number of last-minute goals in the Premier League after. I think we were walking out and I was going, look, they've conceded last minute, just to try and, get over that one because it's a bit of pill to swallow, man. You're allowed to have that moment where you're like, fuck's sake, as if we've just done that. Because it did seem as if we were on our way to the 3 points, but Bournemouth managed to, persist and got that goal. And yeah, it ended up being level. But yeah, looking after the game and going through on various apps and just seeing last minute goal for Wolves, last minute goal for Brentford, last minute goal in the game after for Everton as well. Just trying to take something from that.
Yeah, facts, bro. Good to be with you guys again as well. Everyone joining us. If you could just like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. We really want to try and push and get the likes up and just keep producing the content for you guys. But yeah, bro, team news. What did you think of the lineup?
Yes, we reverted back to what we had against Fulham, the one change being John McGinn being in from the start. So yeah, we lined up with Cash. Conte moving into right back. Okay, that was another change for Fulham because Conte didn't start that game, it was Diego Carlos. So Conte found himself at centre back, Matty Cash back in at right back, Powell and Luca Dean on the left-hand side. And then in the midfield, we had Jacob Ramsey again operating off the left, McGinn off the right, Tielemans and Anna, and then Morgan Rogers and Ollie Watkins up front. So yeah, a few changes. McGinn being captain, just seeing him straight back into the side after his performance against Bologna. And also, Matty Cash, who didn't get any minutes in midweek, and Luke found himself straight back in at right back, and Ezri Konsa preferred at centre back. Obviously, I think it was more circumstantial, the team we're playing against. That was the idea, but also Diego Carlos has played a number of games recently, so we all know that Diego Carlos can break down at any minute. So it's an opportunity to rest him as well.
Yeah, facts, bro. Spot on. Going forward, Rogers and Watkins led the line. Watkins came back in for Duran.
Yeah, what was your thoughts on the team?
I was kind of hoping Maatsen starts, I'll be honest. I thought Maatsen might get another goal, especially the way Bournemouth played. Like, they leave a lot of gaps in behind their midfield, which I thought Maatsen might be able to exploit. And I was expecting probably Watkins to come in, even though I did say I'd want Duran to start. But apart from that, yeah, it made sense. Cash was always going to come in after being benched midweek. So, yeah, not too shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just spoke. Yeah. I just spoke. I said I'm not too shocked.
Yeah, I think we're having technical issues because I couldn't hear you then. But yeah, bro. So going into it, we knew it was going to be a difficult game. Obviously, Bournemouth had that massive result against Arsenal last week. They lined up with a few changes. Tavernier didn't start, who I expected to. Obviously, Kepa didn't start. Travers came in for those. And a number of Bournemouth fans have been speaking on how they think Mark Travers should be their number one. And I think he demonstrated that yesterday. So Travers came in. Also, they played with Otaru on the left as well. And also started with Unez as well instead of Evanilson. He came into the side. So they played with Arejo, who also came into the side. So Arejo right back, Zabrini and Sensei as centre backs, and then Kirkes as left back, and then the midfield of Lewis Cook and Ryan Christie with Otaru, Justin Kluivert, and Anton Semenyo and Unez up top. So Yeah, then made a few changes as well, and I was surprised actually that Evanilson didn't start, and obviously it was a big shot that Kepa wasn't in the lineup.
Yeah, facts, bro. We're gonna get into how we thought Villa played, how we thought the first half went, but I'm just gonna get through some comments quickly. Flange evening, lads. Says wasn't enjoying the game from the minute we scored. Felt like they were gonna get a goal late in the game. Yeah, me and my brother co-signed that 100%. We felt nervous in the stadium, innit?
Yeah, it was all mad. And we did.
Kevin says absolutely gutted, and why Maatsen doesn't start, I'm baffled, especially at Villa Park. Ryan says, I like Maatsen, but I just don't think you can drop Dean at the moment. And Kevin says, gotta say, Cash is a liability as well. Positionally awful. Got away with that tackle in the second half. Yeah, we'll get into some of the penalty shots Bournemouth may or may not have had. And yeah, how did you think, bro, we played in the first half?
I thought we played, I'm going to say, for the 80 minutes till the last 10, after the 76 minutes until we conceded, we scored. I thought we played really well. I thought the game plan was perfect. We saw Bournemouth's press. It was intense, and we were looking to play through that middle, create the space. And if we could get Jacob Ramsey or Tillemans free in the middle of the pitch with the ball and then play from there, we were trying to bring them forward onto us. They'd obviously planned, and Iraola had planned for, we usually try to play out with Pau Torres, so they were allowing Ezri Konsa to get the ball from when we were playing out from the back and giving him the space. And I thought we did it well. I thought there was opportunities in the first half, especially where we were able to play for it through the middle. I thought Onana was good until he had one moment where he lost possession, where he turned into one of their players. I think it was Christie. But I thought he was good on the ball. I thought Yuri Tillemans was great on the ball as always. He's playing through their line. And we were getting so much space in the middle part of the pitch. And it reminded me of, similarly to last year, the only difference being is that we had Moussa Diaby in the middle of the pitch, who absolutely had a ridiculous time against Bournemouth last season. He was getting so much space and he was driving with the ball. And I thought we had similar opportunities to do that again yesterday. And we did that, and maybe we should create it a bit more, but I thought we really played well and we controlled the game. Don't know what your thoughts were.
Yeah, bro. I co-sign everything you said. I thought that was some of the best football we've played this season. When you allow Villa the gap centrally, if we can beat their press, we're going to find space. And Ramsey, a lot of the time, was picking the ball up really well centrally from Pau Torres' passes. Konsa, I thought, was excellent on the ball. Close to being my man of the match, probably. Some of the passes he was playing into Onana, bro, was so good. And I thought Onana had a really, really good game on the ball. He was showing ambition in his passing. He was looking to play forward at all times. He was linking up well. And yeah, I was really impressed with Onana's game, to be honest. Obviously, he got the yellow cards that might have contributed to why he got taken off. But yeah, really impressed with his game. I thought Pau, again, his passing was just excellent, bro. Like that one pass in the first half, I don't know if you remember it, but he played it between two of their players, and Ramsey was just in acres of space, but we just couldn't score from it. So I thought both our centre backs were fantastic. And I thought Watkins link up was quite sharp, to be fair. He played the one pass to Rodgers in the first half where he blazed it over the bar, but that was a lovely pass from Ramsey. Watkins controlled it and he laid it off to Rodgers. Lovely stuff, bro. And Iraola, for the first time in his career, he said in his post-match interview, made an early change in the first half that was tactical. So if that doesn't emphasize how much we were hurting them and making them question their play, then what more than an early substitution from their right back? So yeah, I don't think you can really ask for more from Villa's playing the first half, except for putting the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, and there was a lot of opportunities with that. I did, as I said, bro, when we building up from the right, we were trying to create the space on the left, and there's so many times we were getting in behind Araya with Ramsey, having so much space, and it was just decision making that was letting us down. But if the right decisions were being made, we would have scored a few yesterday. With the attacking areas we were getting into, and that was synonymous with at least the first bit of the first half, because we had big chances. We had Watkins had a shot blocked, as you said earlier. Morgan Rodgers had a really good chance for us to take the lead. It was really good play from Watkins, and he hit it over, and he should have done better with that chance. We also had Tillemans had a left-footed shot, which was just saved by Travers. Watkins had a header as well, which was on target. It was a bit too central, which Travers, it was kind of easy for Travers to make that save. And Nana as well had that header where he could have potentially gone back across goal instead of aiming for the target. It was. I think that was the better option in that, but that was a big chance as well.
I think that was the plan, bro. I think that's why he was so disappointed in himself, because whilst it's a good save on target, Pau Torres and another player are free in the box. It's such a well-worked free kick move, bro, because Onana starts deepest and he works his way all the way around, miles on side. And I think if Onana just heads it back across goal, Pau Torres has a tap in. So just little things like that, just a bit gutting.
Yeah, it was decision making again. We had a number of opportunities where we tried to square the ball across. Jacob Ramsey just not picking the right player at the time. There's one instance which I've seen back since. Have you seen that where Watkins was like 2 yards out and he decided to pass it to Ramsey?
Yeah.
There was a point where there was an opportunity and Watkins was. He looks like Watkins could roll it in near post.
And that's the shot that's what you spoke about, weren't it? It was the first half. Konsa receives the ball. They're allowing Konsa to play through the build-up, like you said, because Pau Torres is the better on-ball player. But Konsa stepped up, and this is why Konsa had more responsibility on the ball. And I thought he was so good, bro. Genuinely, one of his best performances all season. Played a long pass. Watkins goes through one-on-one. Keeper makes a save, and then it goes to the side. Watkins goes towards the goal, and he can kind of tap it in, but he kind of looks for Ramsey as well.
Again, it's just decision making.
Yeah, I don't mind the option though. I actually don't mind that decision because it's just the execution. That's the poor thing. Like Ramsey wasn't.
I think, but it was like he was 2 yards out. Like
it's a weird, it's a weird one. The keeper
should score.
It's a weird one. Like I watched the game back earlier and I watched the first half and I don't know. I thought that at first, but then when I seen it again, keeper's near post and the defender kind of puts him off a little bit. And whilst I agree with you, he probably should score. I'm just not too mad at the decision to pass to Ramsey because he's in open space. What I'm more mad at is that he didn't execute it because he should have found Ramsey. Like he said, Ramsey's got an easy goal. So yeah, just little things like that. But
what did you think of Jacob Ramsey's decision making yesterday,
bro?
In those attacking areas
during the game, me and you were losing our heads a bit because it feels like when Ramsey gets into open space, he just doesn't look up and he just hits it with his left foot and just hopes for the best in it. But after seeing the game back, he did it once. He did it once in the first half, and I think that kind of stuck out in my memory. But when I was watching back, he played the through ball to Watkins first half, who laid it off for Rodgers when he hit it over the bar. He played the other pass where he went through on goal and he puts it across the goal. And if Watkins gambles, he's got a tap in as well. That was.
But did you think that was poor execution? Because for me, that ball looked like it.
No, I thought it was a great ball.
I don't know. I thought he could have played it closer. I disagree. I think he played it too far wide.
If you look
I think that was poor execution in that moment.
I hear what you're saying, but if you look back, watch Watkins run. He hesitates. He doesn't go at the same acceleration the whole way through. He stops, hesitates, and then he sprints. If he doesn't hesitate before, Ramsey has to play in front of their defender, away from their keeper, and for enough for Watkins to run. So I think if Watkins just doesn't delay before, I think he makes that and he taps it in because he still has the time after. The pace on the ball is not that hard because Watkins still chases it. And although he doesn't keep it in, he still gets to the ball.
And obviously it leads to that chance, doesn't it? It leads to.
So
which we'll get onto, bro.
I thought Ramsey was our best attacker. I think he had I think overall, when you look at what he contributes, whilst he probably didn't execute every single pass, the volume that he was working at, I thought, he had a good game.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I think his final third execution still wasn't the best. I think the second half as well, there's opportunities where he put in his left foot and again, it either went directly to Travers and he made the wrong decision in that sense. So I think the build-up, great. Running through, excellent. Defensively, really good. But I think his decision-making at times wasn't the best. So yeah, bro, going on to that big opportunity, how do we get around? Is this the best way possible to get around if the ball's gone over the line now? You think camera angles down the line, which I think they've incorporated now after the Newcastle one against Arsenal last year. It does look like the ball's out, doesn't it?
Yeah. Everyone turns into like a perspective expert when this kind of shit happens, isn't it? But I think looking back, like it's out, isn't it? Like no hard feelings for that goal being still out.
Yeah. I think it at the time, and you obviously where we sit and everyone's like that, you're like, how is that out there? They're rare. But when they put it on, and you watch the highlights after, uh, you can see it was. But you'd think now, surely at some point there might be, sensors in the ball to a level where they have it as goal line technology across the whole line. I think that would be something they might be looking to incorporate into the game. Just make everything clearer. Like the ball going over the line is clear now, unless you're Sheffield United and Villa. But you know what I mean?
Yeah, facts.
But yeah, bro, it was a good finish from McGinn as well. It was a really good finish because McGinn's shooting bits haven't quite been there. Obviously scored against Bologna, but that was a cross. So it was a really good finish from McGinn as well, and one of the sparing shots that he had during the game, to be honest. But yeah, that first half, it just felt like.
I don't think he had one, to be fair. I don't think he had a shot all game. If that didn't.
So, what do you think of McGinn's performance in that sense, then?
In terms of McGinn, that's where you'd want it. If I could place the ball anywhere on the pitch for McGinn, it would be angled to curve it on his left foot, so that was like the perfect play. McGinn, for me, I kind of wanted to see a bit more creatively, bro. More shots. His expected assist was like 0.07. It's like, come on, man, needs just a bit more.
Yeah. So yeah, bro. We ended the half with Bournemouth having a few opportunities. Justin Cliver had a good shot, which was, is from far out. We limited them to shooting from distance, really. They had one good header with Unes where he found space. It was a good ball in from Kirkes. And it was, as you get onto the goal at the end, it was similar in terms of the amount of space that was allowed in between our players. It was a decent chance for him, and he headed it just wide. But I think overall we restricted Bournemouth to little in that half, and I think the XG showed that as well. They may have had shots, but they were from distance, or there was a number of men in front of them. It wasn't really great chances for that. And I think we could have felt, well, I felt, and I think you felt as well, that we should have gone into that half leading.
Yeah, they worked that chance really well, to be fair. They worked it, they hit it central and went line. The ball from Kirkes is crazy. He's so good. And I think Emi had it covered, but he kind of should maybe glance it across goal or whatever. But yeah, bro, apart from that, I didn't feel like they created that much. Shout out Konza as well. They were 1v1 on transition, weren't they? Atara and Konza came across, shielded it out, and Martinez collected. Honestly, that's one of my favourite Konza games all season. I'll be so real. I think that was his best game of the season.
The Konza synonymous win the foul when he's on the chase. He does it so well. He did it second half really well as well, where he's on the chase 1v1 and he just lets the attacker just nudge into him and he wins the foul. If anything, he buys the foul and free kicker. He's so good at it as well. And his defensive recovery, he did it a number of times yesterday, and he's just top, man. But
I'm going to get into some comments.
Yeah, he had a big opportunity as well, which was a ridiculous save from Travers, who was on a mad one. That was a really good save from Travers as well, where Konza nearly hit it top corner, and Travers somehow managed to push it, and he went out for a corner.
Yeah, that was cold because he kind of flicks it up to himself out over the challenging leg, and then he just hit it. Him and Pau Torres had their own little shots, but it's like
they did,
cool.
Yeah.
Kind of cool to see, bro.
Yeah, do you want to get to the comments, bro?
Yeah, I'm going to get into some comments. Sorry if we're experiencing a little bit of lag on the stream, so sorry about that. Me and my brother kind of talking over each other a bit, but Ryan says, Powell's shot proper reminded me of that Company goal, apart from we didn't score. That the Leicester goal. Do you remember that banger that he scored?
Yeah.
I agree with that shot. That's a great shot. It looks exactly similar as well. Ryan says as well, I'd start McGinn over Bailey at the Modo, to be fair. Not digging him out. I just think he's not fully fit yet myself. Flange says, watching on the TV in real time, he looked clearly out of play. It was amazing. It was allowed to play. What were you saying?
We just flipped. The technology's on a mad one today. We just flipped on the screens. Yeah, we're back. Carry on, bro.
Yeah, you went out the chat, innit? Flange says, watching on TV in real time, it looked clearly out of play. It was amazing. It was allowed to play on. I think that's why their goalie wasn't on it too. You know what? I'll give that one because he was saving everything yesterday. Ryan as well says keeper has no excuse. Martinez definitely wouldn't take that risk. So yeah, bro. Second half, 0-0 again. Villa still yet to take the lead at half time in the Premier League at home this season. Another 0-0. Anana, who I thought was having a terrific game, I won't lie. I thought he was so good, apart from that one blip that you mentioned in the build-up. Substituted again. Now, I don't know if he was injured. I don't know if it was because of the yellow card. This is the 4th time this season he's been taken off at the 45th minute.
Yeah. Do you think that's tactical though? I'm still yet to feel that it's because of Nanana's performances. I feel like he plays, we identify what the game state is, and then Unai just makes a change accordingly. And if he clocks that we're playing a side where we're going to keep the ball, Ross Barkley, he's straight on and no messing about. And every time he's done that, to be fair, we've scored from it, or we've gone on to win the game, or except for yesterday, but we've scored and we've got in a position to win it. So I don't know. I don't really think it's performance based. I just think it's tactical. I don't know what your thoughts are.
Yeah, I slightly disagree with that a little bit. I think the Wolves game was definitely tactical. I don't think Onana was good in that first half at the Wolves game. He wasn't progressing the ball well enough. Leicester game as well, I don't think he was that great when he came off that time, even though he did score that game. Yesterday, he was actually playing really well, and he was actually doing the things that Barkley's normally asked to come on and do in terms of control. So yesterday, it felt like an injury-related one or a yellow card-related one.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it was tactical because I felt like was it Bologna who got taken off as well? Midweek?
Yeah, it might have been Bologna as well, yeah.
No, I didn't think he was bad in that game either. I just thought that was tactical with you. Again.
The Wolves game where he got taken off, I think it was another one as well. I'm saying I agree it's tactical because he's not been playing. He's not doing what he wants from Barkley in terms of progressing the ball. But yesterday, I think it was because of the yellow card and his worry about that. Whereas the ones before, I do think it's tactical fair. In the sense that he wants. Onana's not playing bad. Onana's playing bad. He's not progressing the ball, so he wants more control in Barkley. So it's tactical in that sense.
Okay, because it's happened so many times, and obviously I think the Bologna one as well. I don't think he was playing bad in that. Was he booked in that game? I'm not too sure he was, but yeah, he made the change again. I just think it's as when Unai identifies the game state and how it's going, and he realises we're gonna have the majority of the possession, get Ross Barkley in, and we can have 2 controllers in the middle of the park, and it seems to work every time he's done it so far. So yeah, that was my thinking on that. But yeah. The amount of bookings, bro, what did you think of how the game was refed in that first half? It was a different approach, isn't it?
Ref lost control a little bit, man. He makes the early booking and he has to keep the standards the whole way through. So it's just one of them ones, isn't it?
Yeah, he made that initial card and for one challenge, basically. And that was it. Then that was the flow of the game. And yeah, we ended up, with 7 yellow cards in the end.
Like if you did a yellow card bet that game,
madness.
You was taking your winning time.
You were in, for sure.
You got to think as well, the Kluivert one where...
Yeah, bro, that was...
You got to think the Kluivert one where Tielemans is on transition, he gets to the halfway line, Kluivert just swipes him out. That was a yellow card for them. So after that, like, he's going to be bookings galore, isn't it?
Yeah, there was. And I think... yeah, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... Yeah, 7 bookings as well. And Bournemouth had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 13 yellows in the game. Yeah, ref was going for a record there. So getting to the second half, bro, in your thoughts, thinking you're feeling we're gonna win this one. It's only a matter of time before we score. I was a bit more on the pessimistic side, to be honest, in that second half. I didn't feel like we were going to score, even though we have a great record of doing so. The game just felt weird in that second half. It felt tetchy, even though we were the better side. It just felt tetchy, and I don't know why. But yeah, you kind of thought, yeah, we're going to score at least, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought we carried on playing the same way that we did first half. I thought Barkley came on as well. He was doing his thing. I think Konza and Powell continued to play passes that were just so good. I remember Powell played a crossfield ball to Morgan Rogers like it was nothing, bro. Yeah, I still felt confident in our play. They were still late to the press every time. We were getting through. We were finding space in midfield. Ramsey had acres to carry in the middle. So I was still confident, bro, that we'd score. Bournemouth, they were getting opportunities, but it wasn't like big chances really outside of their like last goal, I don't think. Can you remember anything? They were getting like set pieces, but not like actual massive chances.
Second half, they didn't have a shot until the 84th minute.
Yeah, exactly, bro.
So that was the game, and that's how it was going. It was just basically felt like if we'd score, we'd get the win. So yeah, they didn't have a shot for the 84th minute to the second half. So yeah, that tells the story of how the game was going, and we had a number of opportunities. I mean, Tielemans has a shot. Tielemans had 3 shots in a row. Barkley has that one where he puts it over. Torres strike. Watkins has the header from the corner, and then John Duran comes on, has that shot where it goes wide. Big opportunity as well, and he had another few shots as well. So yeah, the chances were all us, bro. It was just whether he could score.
Yeah, facts, bro. I was gonna say something. I'm not sure what I was gonna say now, but yeah, I thought we would continue to create, bro. And the substitutions came. 60th minute, I think it was. Duran comes on for Morgan Rogers. We go 2 up top. Might have been the 55th minute. Duran comes on. I think did Luca Dean come off then as well for Matson?
So the substitution, the moments when the subs took place were. Let me get my.
Guys, if you haven't already,
So,
could you like get the likes up, subscribe if you haven't already as well.
Yeah, so Morgan Rogers came off early, which I think was a fair decision by Unai for John Duran. I think Bournemouth did an absolute job on Morgan Rogers. They didn't allow him to turn, and they really clamped down on him. They kind of marked him out of the game, which was a fair tactic.
We can be honest. He was a bit crap, wasn't he, Rogers, against Bournemouth?
Yeah, it wasn't his best game. So yeah, Duran came on for Rogers at that point in the 57th, and then after that, Matson and Leon Bailey came on for McGinn and Digne in the 71st.
So yeah, the chances that we had, the Duran chance, probably the biggest of the second half of Villa. Do you reckon?
Yeah, until the goal. Yeah, it felt like it was. It felt like we weren't going to score because when we all know that Duran now is an absolute gunman, and when he misses that, you're thinking, if he's missing that chance, then we might not actually score today, innit?
Yeah, and I just love how the chance came. I think Tielemans picked it up in his own half. He plays it to Ramsey. Ramsey kind of like lets the ball roll across him, similar to what Wilshere used to do. Just let the ball go across. You don't have to touch it. Roll the defender. And Ramsey carries it on the touchline, feeds it into Watkins. And Watkins, the unselfishness here is so good. Lays it off to Duran first time. And it's almost just like, oh my gosh, he's actually human. Like Duran is actually human. He's pulled it wide. And yeah, I think most of Villa Park was just in shock at what we'd witnessed. I think my brothers just had lagged out there for a sec, but I'll go through some comments as well. Flange says, I think he brings Barkley on when we need to slow it down a bit. Yeah, I agree. Flange also says, just to regain pace and control. Kevin says, how did Duran miss that chance second half? Yeah, everyone was in disbelief with that as well. Ryan says, I was so sure Duran scored it. Kevin says, classic Bournemouth smash and grab. They couldn't believe it as well. Yeah, their fans are going mad, to be fair. And you can't even blame them.
And I don't know. So I've looked back since, and a lot of their fans thought they deserved, like, they played well, and some of them thinking they were the better side. I don't know about that.
Yeah, they need to see what their manager said at full time, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think so.
Their manager was saying we did not play well at all. It's one of the worst performances this season.
Yeah, facts.
Like I said, like they might have had a few penalty shots, but their manager's having to make first half substitutions for the first time in his career tactically. Like, do you know what I mean? But yeah, I just couldn't believe Duran missed. But shout out Watkins, bro. I thought he was so sharp yesterday with his like little touches in the box, little link-up play. And apart from scoring himself, I thought he had a good game.
Yeah, he did. I did. He set that up one for Duran really well, and as you say, bro, his link up was really good. He just missed that return either way with an assist or a goal. But yeah, I thought his overall game was good, and it was the right decision for Unai to go Duran Watkins when he didn't at that time, because it led to us getting the goal. We were still creating chances. Morgan Rogers wasn't having the best game, so I thought very good subs by Unai in that sense to get us the lead in the game.
The goal then, bro. What did you think of the goal, the initial move, and how relieved were you when it came?
Oh, so relieved, bro. Like, we were there, man, and I was just like, we ain't going to score today. It felt like a 0-0 was written all over it. And yeah, it's a decent move. Who played the ball into the back post?
Maatsen.
Yeah, so Maatsen plays the ball. Good header from Bailey. Good header from Bailey into Barkley's pathway. And Barkley's done well. He's kind of tackled the defender to get in the ball and to beat Travers that day, because he was playing like a madman. He was playing like he had 10 hands, the amount of saves he was making. 10 arms attached to him, but he was making some mad saves throughout that, and he felt like it was kind of a scrappy goal that was going to be needed to beat him. And it kind of, I don't know if the defender touches it onto Barkley first as he makes the tackle. It's difficult to see, but he's hit back off Barkley and gone in and gone past Travers, and just the goal we needed at the time. Massive moment, and I think the players might have felt, and we felt as well, that was it. That was the goal, and we'd go on to win the game.
Yeah, facts, bro. And for me, this is probably my favourite team goal of the season, other than maybe Duran against West Ham. But this move again starts off, epitomises what we've spoken about. We build up from the right and we try and attack on the other side of the pitch. And Konza draws two players out, finds Ramsey in acres of space centrally. And Ramsey must carry the ball about 30, 40 yards up the pitch from his own half, untouched, gets it past a couple of their players, feeds the ball into Watkins. And now this is my favourite move of the goal. Watkins squares up his guy. He like steps over the ball, feints, sends him the other way, bro. Sent him shots, like he's still going there now. And then he just lays the ball off for Maatsen on the overlap. Dinked at the back post. Bailey heads it down into a dangerous area and Barkley scores, bro. And that's exactly what you want from a goal. A high XG chance started off from our build-up play. And yeah, I'm just gutted that it wasn't the winner, which I think it deserved to be.
Yeah, he felt like even the Barkley celebration, man, he was doing the Anana. He's doing like he felt like they were feeling that was it. That was the points, and didn't turn out to be the case. But yeah, that was a feeling I got from the players and everyone in the stands, man, because it did look like that potentially we weren't going to score, but we managed to take the lead.
Yeah, what did you think of that celebration? I don't know if I'm just cynical. It felt a bit like tongue in cheek, and like he did.
Yeah,
the whole,
I think you're being bare cynical. I think literally he's just doing a celebration because he knows that's what the fans do with Onana, and he gets them off, and he was just, maybe it was a nod to Onana, or it's just like, yeah, this is what they like in the whole end, because they always cheer it, so I'm going to do it as well.
I watched Watkins' reaction back, and he had like his hand over his mouth as if to say, "You can't do that one." Like spilling group chat secrets and that. But yeah, no, I'm only messing with. And Barkley as well. Bro,
You're
like,
not.
I'm not messing. But Barkley as well, in his interview after saying he didn't score, he scored last time in lockdown. He didn't get to celebrate with the fans, and he was talking about how much it meant to him.
Yeah,
like,
big facts.
Finally got to celebrate with the whole end. And yeah, man, it's just so annoying that we didn't get the 3 points.
Yeah, big. That is a massive point he made. You like, for a lot of people, myself included, that was the first time this start of the season seeing Ross Barkley live in a Villa shirt. So yeah, it's a big fact. We all remember that five game initial period of Ross Barkley where he was on a different level under Dean Smith back in COVID times. And yeah, it's nice to see him just be really good for us when we've needed him this season so far. And yeah, if he keeps putting in those performances, he'll be close to getting starts in games as well, which I think will come, and I think that will come this week as well.
Kevin says,
anyway, bro, let's talk about it.
I was going to get into a few comments, bro, quickly before we go on to the final.
Yeah, carry on.
Their fans did say it was a fair result. That's a tad delusional. I 100% agree, man. Like,
agree,
I get it.
totally
There's sustained pressure at the end, but saying they deserve to win, like, come on, that like hardly any chances, man. Ryan says when Watkins dropped the shoulder and nearly sat the defender down. Honestly, he's added so much to his game. Watkins, like, he fully meant that as well. Sent him shops, bro. Flange says, I so wanted the arses to lose to the pool, today, but hey ho. Yeah, I don't know. I'm happy with a draw, I think, in that game.
Yeah, I'm content with that as well. So yeah, bro, let's talk about it. We don't want to, but the last 20 minutes, I think, how much additional? 6 minutes additional time. We scored on the 76. It's about 20 minutes, isn't it, bro? What happened? Just all control. We lost all control. In the way we played, we totally changed how we played, and the thing is, I don't even think Unai told the players to do this. Like, I don't think it was a tactic as such, because we stopped playing out from the back. We started playing long at every opportunity. The control just seemed to disappear as soon as we took the lead, and I'm not too sure why that happened. Okay, Bournemouth were going to intensify their press, but they've been pressing hard throughout the whole game, and it's not like we hadn't played through it. So yeah, let's get into it, man. The last 15, 20 of the game, and it really started when we started to give away silly, needless free kicks, didn't it? They brought on Tavernier, who's an absolute menace in set-piece deliveries, like his brother at Rangers. Like, they know how to cross balls, those brothers do. And once we started giving away set pieces, that was going to be the moment of danger that they were going to seize upon. They scored a great set-piece goal against Arsenal last weekend, so they have planned moves. It seems like football these days is the battle of set-piece coaches. You saw it again today. Arsenal getting on with the set-piece coach, and they talked about that, but then conceding one from a set-piece as well. And yeah, yesterday, that's where they got their goal from. But yeah, let's talk about that last 15, 20, bro. What was your feeling and how we played and managed that game?
Yeah, I think the important context to mention is the Kamara sub. So Watkins comes off for Kamara. Barkley goes into the 10 role that Rodgers would normally be in with Duran up front. And you could say it's a defensive sub. I think it is on paper. And I do slightly disagree with what he said about Unai's instructions. I actually do think it was the instructions, because in the modern game, if you're going long from goal kicks suddenly, the players have been told to do that. Otherwise, Emery would just get a player over and just be like, "What are you doing?"
I think that contradicts like his words, though, because he stated that the last 10 the control. Like, he said, we didn't control the game. And I mean, if you're playing long, I don't think that's control in a sense, because it's a 50-50 debate on who has the ball. Whereas if you keep the ball at the back, it's your ball to lose. Whereas playing long, it means that there's an opportunity for either your player or the defender to retrieve the ball. And Bournemouth just kept retrieving the ball from us playing long.
I don't disagree with anything you've said there. That is theoretically correct. My point is, though, in the modern game, if instructions from the manager is to play short, you're essentially suggesting that the players were defying his instructions by going long. I don't think that was the case.
Yeah, I do, because I think it felt like that in the ground. I disagree. I think it felt like they were playing long because of the tension. It felt like it built up.
But from goal kicks,
they just totally changed their game plan, because
I think from goal kicks, they plan build up in training every single day. If the goal kick where a Bournemouth player can't interfere with the play, Emery would.
But it wasn't just goal kicks, though. It wasn't just that. Though. It was every time the ball was at the defence.
We were going long in the first half as well. Konza was going long all the time to Watkins down the channel.
No, I'm not. I mean, I'm not just talking about goal kicks. Though. I mean, like, the way we were playing throughout the rest of the game, we hadn't played like that at all. There was a massive difference to how we played before we scored and after we scored. Like, okay, I get you. Like playing long from goal kicks, fair enough. We did that a number of times because Bournemouth's press was on us in the early stages as well, and Martinez would go long to hit Watkins. He kind of hit it to Bailey a few times on the right, but at every opportunity after they scored, we went long. We totally changed how we were playing, and I think not just from goal kicks as well, but when the defenders had the ball at the back, they were just booting it instead of playing out. And I think that was how we kind of brought it on ourselves, them scoring, because they just kept winning the ball back and the ball wasn't sticking up there and they were able to play.
Yeah, I agree with that in play, but the original point was about like I don't think the team would define Emery's instruction. I think Emery wanted long from goal kicks, win the second balls high up, with Duran with the flick on, hopefully landing to Barkley, and then Barkley's further upfield, we control the game. But I think our problem came more what you're touching on in your separate point was we didn't keep possession while in play. Like the passes became sloppier. We wasn't linking up play as well. And Bournemouth were just constantly attacking that right-hand side, our right-hand side where Cash and Bailey were, and they were getting so much joy just running past our guys. And they were getting set pieces, man. And they had corners, they had a free kick before from the same area where their goal came from. And we just didn't learn. Like, honestly, it's so frustrating, man. Yeah, I would have just liked to see Villa just keep the ball better in play when we had it further up the field. Because there were a couple of times Duran was winning the header as well. And we'd get the ball and like we'd win a throw-in, then we just give the throw-in straight back to them. So man, just frustrating, bro. Just frustrating. They were having way too much possession of the ball in the stadium. You could feel it. You can feel it. Like football's a momentum sport. You can feel it in the stadium, and they just constantly had pressure. Me personally, I thought we had got away with it after that free kick in extra time when Martinez like slapped it down, and because that was at the 94th minute where Martinez had the ball in his hands in the 94, I think it was 20 seconds. So I thought, okay, we may have got away with this, but they get the ball straight away again, go up the pitch, and yeah, man, got in. But
was to hit us with Semenyo and attack our right hand side, wasn't it? They were just playing long balls to Semenyo or playing through and getting on ball to Semenyo as soon as possible. And I thought we dealt with it well. The few occasions where Matty Cash let it run out for a throw-in, or, you know, they had one dangerous moment where Semenyo puts the ball across and Ezri Konsa makes a great block and it goes out for a corner. That was a warning sign. Then they had the other free kick where Tavernier played it on the floor and Evanilson got a touch. He had a poor touch, but they played it through on the ground, and Martinez had come out and he had a poor touch and he went out for a goal kick. So there was warning signs. Again, when they kept going down our right-hand side, we were giving away free kicks. Now, free kicks can be a good thing to give away at that point because there was dangerous moments. They were getting past our front line and getting into space. And I thought we did cope with that, but he was just bringing on us not keeping the ball at all. I'd be interested to see what the stats were for that last 20 because it just felt like we had about 10% possession and the ball just kept coming straight back to us and we were kind of inviting them on to score.
Yeah, facts, man. And it's a sick now because if you play that game out 10 times, I think we win it like 8 out of 10 times. Like, I think we did enough to win the game. But if you don't pay attention 24/7 in the Premier League, like you're going to get punished. Like every team in the Premier League at a base level is good enough to hurt you or score from a set piece. And to be fair, bro, we got to give credit where it's due. That the header is about how many yards out would you say he is? And it goes side netting. Like it's not like Martinez it's gone under Martinez. It's side netting, bro. Like nothing Martinez I don't think can really do. But the marking, bro.
Do you think Duran's left his man there? Yeah.
No, I think it's on Cash, bro. I think it's on Cash because I think
it's on Duran.
It's Cash's man. Like he's closest to Cash. I don't think Cash has sensed him, so Duran goes over then to cover last minute. And then that's where the confusion comes from, in my opinion. I think Duran should get tighter, but I do think it's Cash's man because he's closest to Cash when he starts. But Cash, and then he kind of drifts away.
Yeah.
Because
I think that if you're behind and you can see the runner, you can see the runner. Like there should be a call. Well, if there is, I'm going to assume that there wasn't a call for Cash, that the man was in behind him, that Evanilson was in behind him because the space was there the whole time. There was no movement. So I think Cash's first man to try and head it clear, and it's gone over his head. And it's Duran. Evanilson's run in front of Duran and glanced it in an absolute massive gap. I usually think in those situations that it's a responsibility of the man behind to either make the call or pick him up, and he's just gone through the both of them. But yeah, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's Cash's guy initially. I think that's what they would have gone through in the set piece because he's close to him. He drifts off, and then I think Duran realizes. Then he goes to try and cover last minute, and I could just tell from the body language after, like, Barkley was having to go at Cash, McGinn was having to go at Cash. It did seem like it was Cash's mistake, but I also think as well Duran can.
They wouldn't dare have a go at Duran. That's probably why they wouldn't even dare say anything to Duran. That's probably why they'll go.
Kevin says Cash was marking nobody for their equaliser. Shearer pointed it out on Match of the Day. Kevin says, no wonder we were after Gertruda. And he says, definitely not Duran's man. Richard says, yo, lads, sorry I'm late. Good to see you, Richard. Feels like, I think it's been a while since we've seen you.
Yeah, man. Good to see you.
Richard says, I think it's Duran's man, especially with his size. So, yeah, but we got 50-50s all round.
Yeah.
Also, Ken, thanks for the super chat as well. Really appreciate that. So, yeah, but got in, man, because you go 20 points, we'd still be in third place after today's results. Like, now it's a bit of we're fourth, but Chelsea are right on our toes. Like, Chelsea look good today, I can't lie. So,
yeah, I don't know. I think anyone can get points off anyone this season. You know, you said Chelsea look good. I thought Newcastle still gave them a game, and they had chances to equalise in that game. Like, Chelsea had some chances, but Chelsea's defence, I still don't think is all that at the centre backs anyway. I think they can be got. Yeah. Spurs losing to Palace, that's a huge result.
But I think I said to you in real life, like, I'm not fearing Spurs like that, man. They're Spursy. Yeah. Like, I know we're not one to talk about giving up leads, but after that Brighton game, like, they've still got that in them to be 2-0 up, dominate a half, and then lose 3-2. Like, I think Chelsea's our concern this season, bro. Chelsea, and maybe we'll see how Forest continue, because Nuno's got set up like old school Wolves at the moment, like with the defense being solid and like, backing them with the have. But Forest is going to be another tough game this season. Like, we lost there last season.
Hopefully, no Moreno does us a favour.
When
we play him.
Yeah, facts.
Because he's settled right in there, and I think they'll be looking to sign him on a permanent.
And then you got Brighton as well. I forgot about them, who just keep winning.
Yeah, Brighton.
Well, except for they drop points as well, to be fair. So,
well, except for yesterday, yeah, facts.
If they would have won,
I forget anyone can really give people games. It's a bit more of a sickener, wasn't it? I felt like, seeing how Brighton drew, just gave me that little bit of like, okay, we conceded last minute, but they conceded 2 after going 2-0 up. And the last goal, I think the majority will have seen it. It was a 4-on-1, and Weaver's just played the worst pass he could have possibly played. He would have been better off kicking it out of play or kicking it for a throw-in. And Tommy Dawes' interception, and to concede like that is, I think that's just a bit more of a sickener than ours was, even though ours was the last minute.
Willie Moyes says, hi guys, just subscribe to your show, keep up the good work. As for the game, 1 point is better than none. Thanks for subscribing, and looking forward to seeing you in more of the videos that we do later on this season. Flange says, Palace beat Spurs today, great timing given we play them on Wednesday. In my backwards logic, I'm kind of happy they won. Like, bro,
to get the win out of the way.
Now them not winning coming to Villa Park, that just sets the narrative even more that they beat us. Like, I'm happy they got their win out of the way, man. Like, now I'm more confident we'll beat them, to be honest. I don't know how you feel about that.
No, I do hear that logic. I do. Because so many games without a win, it's bound to be Villa that gives them.
Spurs got in before us, hopefully. So
Spurs did the job of being Spursy just before us doing it. Yeah.
Donker says, what a kick that was yesterday, still third though. Richard says, desperate need for a top right back.
Yeah, I think that is the position that needs to be improved on. I think that's quite clear. Yeah. But yeah, we'll see what happens with that.
Man of the match?
But yeah, I think Cash doesn't have bad game. Like, I don't think he's too bad. I thought he wasn't bad yesterday either. Obviously, they had the close incident with the penalty. I haven't seen that back, bro. Have you seen that back? Did did he get any contact? Was it a dive from Semenyo?
Like Cash should know better now to not dive into the box. Like there's just no need to do it in the modern game. Just shield it out. But he doesn't make contact with the ball. But Semenyo kind of drags his foot as well. I think it's not a pen, but I also don't think it's a yellow card. It's a weird one.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
But
And
yeah,
then also, let's go to... Yeah, go on, bro.
Sorry, boys. We're lagging a bit. Sorry, I can't. But I thought Cash was way better on the ball. Like I thought he was decent on the ball. I thought he was decent on the ball yesterday. Like I watched the game back. Some of the passes he was making, some of the quick tempo play, combo play he was doing was good, and he was shielding it out at times as well. Like down that line. There was one where Semenyo gets a touch on it, and Konza goes over to congratulate him. It was just like well played. But just with Cash, there's always just one thing in the game where you just like, oh, why? You know them ones like.
Yeah, it was. I think it was more as well that Bournemouth had just, after we scored, they were just targeting it, get it to our best player on the pitch, and unfortunately, it was on our right hand side in Semenyo, and he's a quality player, man, both footed, and just he's going to cause so many teams problems. The other penalty shout, Leon Bailey. What's your thoughts on that, and how penalties have been refereed? I think I'd be aggrieved if we didn't get that. I can't lie. I think we've had instances where we've had handballs and we should have got a pen, like the Bailey Paqueta one at West Ham. I thought that was a definite penalty and it was never given. But this one, Bailey's gone to try and head the ball, totally misjudged it, and it's hit his hand.
Yeah, bro, I'll be honest. If this ain't a penalty, I don't know what is, to be honest. Like the ball's come from the other side of the pitch. He's watched it the whole way. Yeah. He's not hit straight at him. Goes to head it, mistimed. His hands out. Like I'd be pissed if I was a Bournemouth fan. Like. Not even trying to beg it or anything, bro. Like it's a penalty, isn't it? Like you know, it's a penalty.
It just felt like a pen.
I've seen it back. I'm just like, yo, it's a pen, bro. Like, but happy he didn't get given. But man, Bailey got away with it, and it's just kind of going into his season. Like I know he got the assist, but like, is he switched on? Like, is he switched on, bro? Like, is he there with us on the pitch?
Yeah. That the right hand side just seems to be at the moment, just seems to be the weakness at the moment, and mate, it's just one of those things that will keep improving, I think, as the season goes on. But at the moment, just chances and the players who are playing on that side, just confidence is a bit down. I think it will come there. I think we'll grow into it even more. But played excellently for 76 minutes, 80 up to 80 minutes, and then just totally stopped playing and gave Bournemouth the opportunity to come back into the game, which they did.
Duncan says, teams now openly exploit our right back area. Cash always gives away pens on free kicks. Kevin says, got away with that Bailey handball, to be honest. Yeah, 100% agree. Richard says, teams are attacking down our right side. It's clearly an area that needs improvement. Ryan says, Buendia is going to take that right wing spot. What do you think of that comment?
I don't know about that. Do you know what we're forgetting? Buendia was good defensively when he used to play for us. When like before he had the big injury, he was very good defensively in that AM role. I just don't think he's that type of player to play off the right. I know he used to doing that, but it's going to take a lot for him to get up to speed again, where he can play off the right side for us. I'd like someone who has the ability, because we look to build. It's either our left back in Digne or Maatsen, who kind of gets that overlap on the left, and on the right we look to, if Bailey's on it and fit, Bailey will play the majority of times on the right side because he's tricky and he's quick, and that's just the opposite to Emi Buendia in different type of game. I don't know. I don't know. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think the right wing, unless Bailey sharp fixes up soonish, it's just I'll be looking at pace. I think more someone just to constantly just get there and just beat your man down that byline, just keep constant, so that we can just play that pass every time. And when players start doubling up and tripling up, and that, it creates space for Rodgers to be open, or Maatsen to be open on the other side, or Ramsey to be open. So but it's hard. You can't really find that in January. It sounds more like a summer marquee signing, really.
Yeah. Or just Bailey just steps up.
Yeah, hopefully. Kevin says, what say playing Nedaljkovic surely can't be worse. I think Nedaljkovic will get his shot this Wednesday, won't he?
Yeah, I think so. I think there'll be a number of changes in that sense.
Yeah, you'd think if he doesn't start against Palace, you'd be looking at him being loaned out in January or something to get some game time. Like you'd think Palace League Cup, he's got that locked in pretty much. Richard says the pundits go crazy over Palmer, but hardly a mention of Rodgers, who's been dropping 7 out of 8 of 10 performances this season in the Premier Champions League. I don't know. I think Rodgers has got his plaudits in the media, personally.
Yeah, I agree, bro. I think we were at the game on midweek, but I think they were waxing lyrical about him on BT after the Bologna game. Yeah, if he just needs to be consistent with it, Morgan Rodgers, and he'll get more credit and more talk in the media. I think Palmer's done it now for a year and a bit, and obviously scored in the Euros final and that. I think Palmer's deserving of having all that talk, but it will come with Morgan Rodgers if he just keeps playing to the level. He didn't have a good game yesterday. Probably his worst game this season, to be honest. Yeah, I thought Bournemouth did an absolute number on him, and his touch wasn't there, and he wasn't getting the space he requires or being able to drift past players. But if he's consistent with the other games he's playing, they're just going to keep talking about him more.
Kevin says, I like Cashy, but I got to be honest, there's better out there. Duncan says, time to give Costa a run or put Konza right back till Jan. See, that's a shout we got as well. Carlos coming back at centre-back. Konza going right back as well. Flange says, I want to see more of Jaden. Yeah, Jaden probably would have got minutes yesterday had he not been suspended.
Yeah,
Jaden Philogene will probably play against Palace, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
And Kevin says, a right wing of Nedaljkovic and Philogene excites me if they play on Wednesday as well.
I think you probably see that, Kevin. I think that would be the case on Wednesday.
So yeah, bro, I think we'll wrap that up there. But before we do, who was your man of the match?
Yuri Tillemans, as it's been most games this season. I thought his passing was still a joke yesterday. He still kept the tempo ticking, and I thought he had another great game.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I think mine would be out of 5 players that really impressed me. I thought you said Yuri as well. Either Konza, Powell, Watkins, and I thought Ramsey. Ramsey played well overall. But I'm going to give it to Konza. I thought Konza's passing, the fact that he had the more responsibility because they were trying to lock Torres out of the game.
Yeah.
The fact he got that shot off as well. Defensively, I thought he was so good. I'll give it Konza. I think that was his best game of the season.
Yeah, fair shout. And I agree. He had more responsibility because they made us play to the right side because of their shape in their defensive shape, and he used the ball really well in his defensive recoveries. His strength, he was quality with as well. Yeah, so that's a shout, bro.
So yeah, bro, we're gonna wrap that up there. Thanks everyone for joining. Your comments appreciated as always. If you can like the video if you haven't already, if you could share it with as many people as possible. We're trying to get more people, more eyes on our videos. We're going to continue creating content throughout the whole season. And yeah, can you just subscribe to the channel if you haven't already as well? Trying to get our subscribers up as well. But yeah, I think Palace preview either tomorrow or Tuesday, probably that will come for the game on Wednesday. And yeah, hopefully Villa can get through in the next round of the League Cup.
Yeah, facts, bro. Big game. The big games just keep coming, and hopefully through to the quarterfinals after Wednesday. That'd be massive, man. Because
that'll be sick. Yeah,
we want to win a trophy this year. We want to win the trophy this year if it's possible. So,
because if we got quarters, I feel like that's when Emery would lock in and start like making the starters play a little bit.
Yeah, facts. But there's a lot of games assuming players need minutes. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly, bro. But yeah, anyway, guys, thanks for joining, and we'll see you on the next one. Up the Villa.
Yeah, up the Villa.